All right, we want to welcome everybody into this week's episode of Are We Ready War podcast. We're going to talk about man up or shut up.
Yeah, boy.
I mean, what about last week's episode? Huh?
Huh?
What
Good.
about that, huh?
Yeah, that whole, coffee maker thing. Woo.
Ooh, I'll tell you what,
Goosebumps,
man.
baby, goosebumps.
I'll tell you, the man had just brought me to a whole new level on that. A whole new level.
I thought we
The
edited
do's,
that.
the do's and don'ts of relationships.
Hey, I'm learning. It's only 12 years in.
Only
Hey, I'm
12 years
learning.
in. So those of you that are listening to the podcast right now, there's still hope for you.
There's still
If
hope.
the man can do it, you can do it.
Ninja.
Hey, man, everybody's got their own timetable.
Oh, wow. I'll tell you
Exactly.
what. I got to tell you. You got to live up close and personal to this to actually fully, truly understand it and appreciate it. You know
Oh,
that?
yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. Y'all just get a little piece of the Mainer.
Every day's a holiday with a Maynard.
I was like, what do I do now? We're going to talk about the gym. What are we going to talk about?
No, don't talk about the gym. Don't even talk about the gym.
I'm surprised no one's talking about
Mr.
the gym.
Physical Fitness over here.
I was like, John's lost an infant, pretty much.
Yeah.
Train a
But,
Mike.
Maybe a toddler.
You know, it's funny. That's probably one of the nicest compliments I ever got. Indirectly. I mean, Mike runs into one of our buddies at the gym and he says, "What's going on with Johnny? It looks like he lost a toddler."
That's a good compliment.
Hey, that's not a bad thing, man.
I'll tell you what, man. It's been rough, boys. It's been rough.
Yeah? How rough has it been?
Change our
Dude, I
diet.
mean,
We
I don't know
changed our
what's
diet,
harder,
man.
the diet or working out with a Maynard.
If it was easy, everybody'd be skinny.
Dude, I thought trainer Josh, oh damn it, Josh was out there. But this friggin' guy, he's at a whole new level.
All right, bring it on. I'm ready for it.
I mean, the only time he ever critiques anything in our workout is when he wants to critique me.
Ah.
You know, he can go over there and bend his back, wiggle his legs, shake his shoulders. But shit, I get on one exercise and I just twinge my back just the wrong direction. He wants to show me pictures and shit. Going, hey,
Dude,
hey,
do it better.
bring it in, bro. Bring it in. Listen, do you not see this picture right here? The back's supposed to be straight.
John, I was trained by someone who was trained by Tony Atlas.
Who roomed with Lex Luger,
Lex Luger.
who was friends with Chris Benoit.
So, yes, I know things, John. I leveraged it for
Oh,
my
yeah, you
time
leveraged it
going
right.
to the gym.
You know what I told him, don't you?
What?
How about you worry about you?
Worry about yourself.
Mind your own business.
Mind your
Yeah.
business.
Like last week's episode. None of my business.
I just want to know why Mike's filming you bending over and showing you pictures
I
that
don't
your
know,
back
bro.
ain't straight. That's
See,
Dude, I don't know.
I don't think that came out right.
No, it didn't come out.
John, I was showing
No.
John a video
We
of
have
our
an app, yeah,
that
that
shows how you should accurately do it.
accurate. You know what's funny? What's funny with the man? What's funny with the man? Anytime he drops down in weight, it's because he's wanting to do it correctly.
okay,
I
now are
don't
we
wanna-
talking about his weight or the weight he's
The
lifting?
weight he's lifting.
Okay.
You know, because
okay.
we've already established back in the old days, it's all about lightweight. I used to say, more repetitions, but as you said so eloquently, Ray, just lightweight.
Lightweight.
So anytime we're doing a workout, right, or a certain exercise, if Mike's not feeling it, or something gets hurt on him, we won't get into it.
We'll get into him.
The vaginal
I'm
extremities.
gonna say
on him.
my VJJ.
Yes,
hurt
but-
that day.
my tang hurts.
He's like, yes, tang tang. As Freddie
Tang,
would, as Freddie would Freddie would say so eloquently, the tang tang. he's like, oh, I'm just trying to do it right. Okay, I'm going less weight and I'm going to do it accurately and do it correctly, and that's how I want to lift the. I'm like, dude, why is it every time you drop weight, I got to get this speech about how you're doing it right?
Hey, at least I don't say like the Maynard.
I haven't sworn on this podcast yet.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, for
Turn
it.
over a new leaf, huh?
Except that this podcast, the
Yeah, not
last
this one, yeah.
the last week's podcast, yeah, he's crap.
Yeah.
Crap. When I say crap, shit.
Yeah.
Editing myself. Crap shit. No, that's not a swear.
It's funny though. We'll go in the gym, and we won't say hot, but probably 5 or 6
Yeah,
words to each other.
true.
We both got our headphones in. We're both working out, and it's been good though, man. It's been
Yeah,
really
it's-
good. I
it's-
mean,
it's been good.
we went on this 30-day journey, and both of us lost over 20-something
Yeah,
pounds. So.
yeah, it's been good, man. Just think about the weight we've gained due to muscle, but
Yeah.
that's what awesome. It's been great. I think the hardest thing was getting used to that diet, like literally pulling pasta or carbs or anything out of my diet for 30 days. Like I didn't eat sugar. I think Okay, I take it back. I did 15 days straight of not doing it.
This bitch.
And
Let me
then I
tell you
had
something
one
about this
cheat-
bitch.
and then-
As soon as the 30 days are up, he's talking about chocolate check cereal. He's eating rice.
Hey.
He's doing it. I'm like, dude, I thought we were.
I'm
it's
eating
30
different-
days. I
30
was
days
committed
are
for
up.
30 days.
30 days are up, and now I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get some carbs in before I work out.
But
And
then before all that, though, he's critiquing everything I'm doing.
Right,
Dude, what
right.
did you have to eat? Well, I had a little peanut butter for protein. You know that's got sugar in it, man. You're not supposed to be eating that. Meanwhile, he's eating chocolate checks.
That's not on our list, John. It's not on our
He's over
list.
there popping Hershey's Kisses going, hey, that peanut butter's got sugar.
Friggin' guys over there wailing it.
Hey, my 30-day sentence is up. I'm over.
I thought you're from Maine. They're famous for lobsters, not whales.
Well, I tell you what, though, I'm proud of you guys, man, because not only did you guys man up, but you also shut up because you said you ain't talking in the gym.
Well, quite honestly, I was a little pissed off when he started running his mouth about it. I'm like, dude, time out, bro. Don't be talking about the gym thing until we get this thing going.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I heard that in the podcast,
know?
and I was like, oh yeah, we did start the gym,
Yeah.
and it's been good.
Yeah.
But we
Mike
were
can't
always
help
talking.
himself. The man that can't help it. He's a social. Out of all of us, probably here at the podcast, Mike's probably the closest to that millennial line. So he's into that social media. Let everybody know what the frig's going on in
I
your
don't
life.
do that. I don't do
Smile, cheese.
Hi,
at
I'm Mike the
gym.
Mainer. I just took a Duke today, and it was purple.
that.
And curly Kiwi. Mike the Maynard checking in at Planet Fitness's
Yeah.
toilet.
Checking in.
Check
Hey,
it in.
y'all. I'm just checking in. How y'all doing?
Oh, man.
Today's push day.
I come from the I come from the generation of mind your own business. I don't want you to know mine.
The Maynard only shits every other day. The other days are pull days.
And then I gotta tell him,
The
shit your
mayor's checking in as he's pushing out right here on the Are We Ready podcast at duck.gov.
That Maine.
Maine, duck.maine.
Hey.
man.
I'll get better.
Yeah, we're waiting, Mike. We're waiting. That's love, ain't it?
Oh, that's
That's
love
love.
right there. That's
Should have
love.
been
And-
fired years ago.
I gotta tell you though, I'm proud of him. I am proud of him because he shook off that wool. I'm in the
wool.
gym. He's yeah. There you go. Oh, well, I look at him and sometimes he's trying to pull the old puss wagon out, and I'm like, nope. We're backing that back in the garage. Put 10 more pounds on. You can do it.
You
And
got
he's
it.
done it, so I'm really proud of him. He's really up to his.
I appreciate that, John. I'm proud of you, man. It's been good. It's been
Yeah.
good to be able
We
to
push
just-
each other.
Yeah, we do, and we make each other. And I think that's the best thing. Like you finding a gym partner to go with and hold yourself accountable. Because there's days I'm like, dude, I don't feel like going. But then I got a message from John. We still going? I'm like, yeah, we're going.
Yeah,
Or,
vice
like,
versa.
Same,
vice
same thing.
versa.
It's like, hey, John, were you going? He's like, yeah, we're going. And then you think, and then you talk to him afterwards. I wasn't even gonna go today. I didn't even want to go.
Yeah.
So
There was a
Nice.
couple days we went in there. We both looked at each other like, dude, I do not want to be.
why do we do this shit for ourselves?
Oh, are we having a moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I was perfectly comfortable
moment,
being really
Fritz.
fat.
We're having a bromance over
Bro-
Don't
here.
start your shit, Freddie. I've seen you in the gym a couple times.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mama told you get your ass in there and get that old six-pack rolling again there. Huh? Oh, tall drink of water there. Big sexy.
Big sexy.
Yeah.
Oh, she needs a couple extra more minutes out of you.
Well, old Ray, hey,
Minutes? Hey, you're very
Minutes, I'll take
kind.
seconds. Take seconds.
Dude, flattery will get you everywhere, right, Freddie? Yeah. Well, what a lot of people don't know about old Ray, he used to be a little bit of a power lifter
yeah.
back in the day. You
Back
know?
in the day. Back
And he
in
had
the
pictures
day.
and shit of himself, all ripped and everything.
You know, the only reason I keep those pictures because everybody calls me a damn liar. There ain't no way in hell.
I saw it, dude. I saw you when you were ripped.
Yeah, it was back in the day.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But,
It's
dude, he
okay.
was hell on wheels back then,
Oh,
though,
yeah.
boy.
There's a lot of anger in them
Yeah,
muscles.
there was some anger. He was an angry little elf. He was a South Pole elf back then.
Oh,
He would
I
definitely
was-
man up and not
Hermie
shut
was
up.
wanting to be an assassin, not a dentist.
He was a dentist.
There's a lot of anger back in those
Yeah.
days. Back in them days. But hey, you know what? That's what it's all about. And I'm really proud of all of you guys for manning up. You know, you're not just talking shit, you're out there doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what we're talking about today is shutting up, manning up.
Yeah, I mean, and the problem is that we live in a culture today where people want to run their mouths and they don't want to do shit about it.
Yeah.
If you ain't about it, don't run your mouth.
Well, the whole thing that I always thought is that people love the idea of things. They love the concept of things, but as soon as they get their ass out there to do something
Yeah.
and realize, whoa, this doesn't just happen,
Mm-hmm.
then they lose all interest.
Well, you look at the youth right now. I mean, you've got a culture today where they're saying participation in sports right now is at an all-time low.
Yeah.
Why is that? Well, because hell, you can be whoever you want to be on an Xbox or a PS4 or PS5.
Not break a sweat.
Dude, I got 7 touchdowns on Madden the other day.
Shit,
It's
my
unbelievable.
son's 22.
Yeah.
I can remember when he was coming up, and he's playing basketball. And I asked him, I said, "You going to play next year?" He goes, "Nah, I don't think so, Dad." And I said, "Well, why not?" He said, "I don't like to practice." I said, "Well, if you're not going to practice, you're not going to be any good." I'm like, you talk about guys like Kevin Durant and all that. I mean, these guys shoot 1,000 basketballs a day.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what they do. I mean, and so many of our youth today do not want to put in the work, and because they get the same gratification. I can remember my son coming out of the room like, "Dad, you ain't gonna believe it." I'm like, "Believe what?" "Dude, I dropped like 7 touchdowns on the Saints today." And I'm like, "Dude, you realize this is Madden?
This is
You're like,
Madden.
you're not playing, guy."
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, but they get the same gratification to be
Yeah.
able to say, "I did this," and they didn't do shit.
Right. Exactly. And they get lost in that.
And they didn't break a sweat. They didn't work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but they get lost in that. They truly do, because back when we were growing up, back in the day, we had to earn that.
Yeah.
What's that? The stuff in your brain that gets you excited or whatever, that dopamine or whatever.
Dopamine, yes.
Dopamine.
Dopamine.
Yeah, we had to earn that, which means we had to go out and accomplish something
Yeah.
to get that hit, to get that. All right, I accomplished this. Yeah.
Now all you need is a like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Someone liked my post.
or 3 touchdowns in Madden. You know.
You know what's crazy? I was reading an article the other day on Elon Musk, and they were talking about AI,
Yeah.
and how far AI has come in our culture, and what they're concerned with now is they're going to be creating, and it's already out there, but it's going to be even more
Prevalent?
accessible and prevalent. Is that guys are going to be able to have AI girls that they can modify and just kind of customize to what they want to build friends online, and then that's going to turn into sexual friends and whatever. And men are already physically stimulated, right? I mean, we're very visual creatures, right? So they're going to get the same thing, like, and you see it already right now in our culture with the younger generation through sexting and
VR.
all that other shit. I mean, this is going to be a problem, man. It's coming.
Man, you
And
know
it's
what?
going to be a huge, huge problem. And it's going to affect culture, and it's going to affect society, because there's not going to be a necessity for women, because they're going to get their rocks off talking to some virtual woman that's not real, that's going to be everything that they wanted to be, and is going to treat them every way they want to be treated.
You know, it's going to go the same way with the women, too. They're going to
Same
generate
thing.
these men that they want. But
Absolutely.
you know what, dude? That's like cheating in solitaire. You're only screwing yourself.
True.
You know, when you look at the big picture.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like saying, "Hey, that's my way of saying I care about
Oh,
me."
my
You know what I'm saying?
God,
Like, I think
dude.
Andrew Dice Clay said it best. Boom, bang. Bada bing, bada boom.
Little boy blue.
Douche.
I think it's the autonomy that scares me the most. You know, these things start thinking for themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
They already had an issue. Where was it in Japan, where 4 of them killed like 30 people that were supposed to be, soldier bots or whatever, and they found the last one trying to uplink to a satellite to figure out how to repair itself.
I was reading something the other day where there's interaction with people on AI that, a guy was talking about his son was interacting with AI in a computer, and there was some demonic shit that was going on with it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of shit. Guys, listen, there's stuff out there that's going on, and that goes back to you either man up or shut up.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You get all these dudes out there that want to talk all kinds of shit about, well, that ain't going to happen to my kid. I ain't going to do this. And then we want to sit in the sidelines. So we're like, we're like warriors standing on the sideline watching the parade pass us by. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got shit going on, and we want to pretend like it ain't happening.
Oh, it is happening.
And we want to talk about it.
But we don't want to do nothing.
Well, that's the other problem with social media, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it gives people a platform to run their mouths and not do shit.
Well, and the problem is on social media, they think they're doing something. They honestly do. They
Like-
honestly think they're doing something.
Listen, if you're on this platform and you're talking shit, who cares?
Well, here's the thing: is in all social media, they've got I forget the hell they call it, but all it does is it puts like-minded posts and stuff like that in your feed.
Just feeds you. Yep.
So
Yeah,
all
for
you're
sure.
doing is you're sharing the same shit to the same people that already believe it. So you're not doing anything other than, patting each other on the back. Is really all you're doing.
Well, you just feeding yourself what you want to be fed.
Right.
You're customizing your information,
Yeah.
whether
But-
you realize it or not.
But you're not doing anything.
No, you're not doing shit. It's a perfect example. Like years ago, when they first started talking about this border crisis, and I had said something on Facebook back when I would say things, and I don't do that anymore. I've kind of gotten away from all that. And I had a close friend that I grew up with, and said, "Oh, I can't believe that you would say that, and this and that, and I thought you were different, and you were into this." And I said, "Listen, let me ask you a question." I said, "How many people have you housed? How many times have you been to the border? How many times have you crossed the border and went over and helped people?" Because I've been on multiple mission trips. I've put roofs on houses. I've built safe houses for people in Mexico. I've had a Hispanic kid live in my house for a year, rent-free, food-free, and everything else because he grew up with a single mom that couldn't afford to take care of him because she was moving and he wanted to graduate from high school.
Right.
Wasn't a friend of one of my kids. He was just a kid in need, right? I'm like, you want to talk about it, but you don't want to be about it.
Right.
If you truly care about the people at the border, get your ass in a white van, drive down there, pick up a bunch of them, and let them move in your house and take care of them.
Yeah.
And some people listen to this podcast, and that may piss you off, but I really don't give a shit. I really
Right.
don't.
Well, that's
because either you're going to do something or you're going to talk about it.
Well, that's why I'm with DeSantis. DeSantis sent a whole bunch of people over to Martha's Vineyard, and what did they do? Send them back the next day.
Well, they send them to another. They send them to a military. Installation.
But that's an example of like people that have the means and have the ability to take care of who they're saying that they care for, and then they're like, you know what? Well,
It's easy when you're talking about it and it's not affecting you.
Exactly.
What DeSantis did was, hey, put up or shut up.
Put up or shut up.
And that's what we're talking about tonight. Either
Exactly.
man up or shut up. And, there's the guys that are listening to this podcast. I want this to ring true and it just kind of resonate within you. Like, you got to make a decision. You're either going to do something or you're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Talk is cheap.
Oh, yeah.
This getting on your damn soapbox, ranting and raving, pounding your chest like Godzilla or King Kong and making a big shit show about what you think. Who cares?
Yeah.
Do something.
Oh, yeah.
Or how about all those people that are like, due to COVID and all the people having to work, having to homeschool and do everything online, they got to see what the teachers were actually teaching. And then a lot of those parents actually, I give them all the credit in the world, they went and joined the school boards. They went and did all that stuff. They put up, because what are you going to do? Like, you're just going to let them keep teaching you this stuff? So
Yeah,
you
they manned up.
You can get into anything. So you got to, I give credit to people that actually talk it and actually live it. That's the biggest thing.
Live it out.
At the end of the day, it's like you've got a decision to make, right? You can either talk about it, you can do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we live in a culture today where that's all people want to do is they want to talk. They don't want to do shit. They want to talk about it. They want to bitch about it, moan and complain about it, rant and rave about it, pound their chests about it, but they don't want to do anything about it. And that's what, like, I was trying to say to my friend. I'm like, look, I love you. Don't take it the wrong way, but if you care that much about it, do something about it. Don't talk
Right.
about it.
Yeah.
If you have a heart for immigrants coming in this country, God bless you.
Mm-hmm.
But go do something. Don't talk shit about how everybody else should be doing this, and this, and you ain't doing shit.
I have no problems with immigrants coming to the country. Just come in legally. That's the biggest thing I have.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on that. But my point is we got so many
I know.
people that got something to say about it,
Yeah.
but don't want to do anything about it.
Exactly.
I got a saying that I like to live by, and it is actions are proof why words mean nothing. Because I can tell you, hey man, I'm gonna give you $100. I'm gonna give you $100. I'm gonna give you $100. But
Sweet.
you ain't got shit until I hand that $100 bill over.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Well, it goes back to what we said in the beginning of the show when we were talking about the gym, and I got Mike's ass about sharing the information. It's like, let's get to the gym and do it
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
we talk about it, because that's how I'm made.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't want to come here and tell you what I'm going to do. I want to do it.
It motivated you, though.
Live it.
It didn't motivate me. Shut the hell up. I was already motivated. Motivated me to want to be slap your ass.
B slap.
You edited yourself.
B
Well, I had
slap.
there's certain words I won't say. I won't cross that line like you
Smart.
do. Not,
I don't say.
not everybody drops an F-bomb on a podcast.
Why do
we saved that for you.
Good. That's fine.
He's made his mark.
He has, hasn't
I
he?
made my mark.
But I mean, the bottom line is man up and shut up.
Yeah, and
exactly.
a lot of people say, well, I'm sharing all this information because what good is me going to do it, and what good is me going to do? Just like we said in the last podcast with your kids and stuff, you have to do everything that you can do. So at the end of the day, you can look back and say that I did everything I could do.
Mm-hmm.
And just talking that shit ain't everything you can do.
Well, you think about it. How many times do you, like, when you, for instance, let's just talk about we're fathers. Every one of us in this podcast is a father. How many times have you met a dude that'll give you all the advice in the world about how you should raise your kids and what he would do if this happened? And I wouldn't put up with this and I wouldn't do that. And you go over to their house and their kids are running rickshaw over everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
The kids are doing whatever the hell they want. They're raising hell. They run the show. And it's like, dude, you're over there giving me all this advice, talking about what you ate and what you ain't going to put up with. And this is how you're running things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talk is cheap.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I always say I don't surround myself with hyenas. I surround myself with lions.
Yeah.
And if you got a little bit of wool, that's okay. We're going to shake it off the mane and we're going to move on. You know what I'm saying? But every one of us has got shit that goes on in our lives.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we got to learn from each other, right?
Right.
That's why you got to surround yourself with people that are doing what they say they're doing.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not just talking it, they're walking it.
Yep.
Yeah, and don't get it sideways. Don't think that we're perfect and that we got all of our crap together. That's not the case by any means. But if we say we're going to do something, we're going to head in that direction. There might be something that changes our course. It might be the wrong choice.
Yeah.
There's been several directions that I've headed that nope, that's not the way.
Turn this boat around,
That's
boy.
it exactly.
Woo!
But that's manning up. That's saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is where I'm going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and I think you make a valid point there, Ray. It's about recognizing when you make mistakes
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and learning from those mistakes and moving in a different direction.
That's manning up right there,
Yeah.
too.
Well, that's the difference. I tell my kids that there's a difference between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is knowing what to do. Wisdom is doing what you want to do.
Yep.
So that's how I teach my kids. Is like, you can know something all day long. Like I could tell the kids, hey guys, we're gonna go do this, and if they all of a sudden we don't do it, they're like, wait a second, Dad just said we're gonna do this, and then it doesn't happen. So you lose all credibility. So you gotta. That's one thing. I mean, I try to do that. That's been happening. I've been getting a lot better with it, but you just got to be honest and say, hey, dude, it's not going to happen. And
Well,
just be honest.
you make a good point because some guys, this is where they fall short. They make promises they can't keep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't say you're going to do something if you can't do
Yeah.
it.
Or they'll dangle that carrot to get what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to hold true to what you say,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
especially with kids.
Yes.
Because if you tell your kid, well, if you do this, this is what's going to happen, and then they do it and it doesn't happen. It's a little adage when your kid's jumping on the bed. You say, get off that bed. You jump one more time, I'm going to spank you. I'm telling you, if you jump one more time, you're going to get spanked. You better stop jumping on that bed. Pretty soon the kid's jumping on the bed, popping you the bird.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do about it? You ain't going to do shit. You talk shit. You ain't about it. You threats. I got idle threats. You got idle things that you tell us you're going to do, and you don't do anything about it. So at the end of the day, you got to man up or shut up. Either you're going to do what you say you're going to do, or just shut your mouth because you lose credibility.
Yeah, I used to do that, but then now I'm just like, no, you're getting your ass beat. Simple. You just don't do what I tell you to do.
Listen to this hot ass over here. Beta here with an ass beating boy. Line up. Who wants it first?
Yeah. Nowadays it's do it one more time and I'm taking the iPad.
Yeah, I know.
You're going to go in
Unfortunately, you
timeout.
have to do that because you could get, like, all of a sudden the kid talks about it at school.
Come get him.
Yeah, come get him.
That's how I look at it. Come get him. That's how we rolled in my house.
Oh yeah.
You want to go cry to your teacher? You want to go tell? I never really had to spank my
Yeah.
kids anyways. I just raised my voice and they'd stop. But my premise is you want to go tell that shit? Go move in with your teacher. I don't care.
Yeah.
Tell them to come get you.
Or hey, my friend's parents let her do this, or my friend's parents let him do that. I ain't your friend's parents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm your
Period.
parent.
And I ain't your friend. I'm your
Right.
daddy.
We told our kids that from the, as soon as they start understanding things and stuff like that. Say, look, I'm not your friend. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to be your parent. I'm here to raise you
Correct.
to be productive in society and to love people and take
Contributors,
care of
yep.
people. I said, once you get that and you're doing that, then we can be friends. I will always be your parent.
Yes.
But at that point, we can be friends.
It's funny. I mean, both my kids, they're twin kids.
Kids. Well, to you they are.
Yeah, they're my kids. They'll always be my kids. But one's 22, one's 20. They both live at home. One of them's talking about moving out in the summertime. The other one's possibly looking at going to the military. But they both have full-time jobs. And I'm going to tell you this is funny. They will text me and make sure it's okay with Dad if they call out of work. They will not call out of work without talking to their father first. And they have to tell, and I don't tell them to text me. It's not a rule. It's just what they do out of respect.
Yeah.
Because, I had a situation with my son a while back where he called out of work. It seemed like because he started night shift, and every Sunday was getting tough for him. He called out 2 Sundays. And I'm like, look, I called him in the other room. I talked to him. I said, look, I'm just going to tell you right now. And if you listen to this podcast, it's going to hurt your feelings. Oh, well, get over it. Listen to a different podcast. But this is what I told my 22-year-old son. I said, I am not raising you to be a pussy.
Yep.
I'm raising you to be a man. Men go to work. They show up. You've got 2 Sundays that you've called into work, and now you're becoming that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When they can't depend on.
We're not that guy. This family that you live in, that you represent, we're not that guy. We're the guy that shows up. We're the guy that does the job. We're the guy that's dependable. I said, let me ask you a question. He goes, what? I go, you see your dad laying up and not going to work? No, you always go to work. Even when you're sick, you go to work. Well, that's the expectation. Men work. That's part of being a man. Are you a man or are you a boy? Well, I'm a man. Well, start acting like one.
Man up.
Mm-hmm.
Men go to work. We're not going to do this shit. So as of right now, that's over. Going in late, calling out, we don't do that shit. We clear? If you want to do that, live somewhere else.
Yep.
That's the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
But it just it makes me laugh, but it also makes me feel good that him and my daughter, they will text me and say, Dad, I'm not feeling good, or my stomach, or whatever it may be. I'm not going to go to work. Is that okay? You know what I mean?
Okay.
And they're
That's
adults.
good. You built it.
But that was because they see their father, the example
Mhm.
of their father,
That's
not
good.
talking it but walking it.
Mm-hmm.
They know that their dad works. He goes to work. He doesn't make excuses to stay home. He doesn't, try to bang out of work. He goes to work. And, they're just, as men, we have to understand it's a time to put up or shut up. We've got to be the example in our homes, and we got too many guys out there that want to talk shit and not back it up.
Right, right. And I want to get back to the work ethic, that manning up is not just a single action, like you said. It is a constant action. It is something that it's reliable, it's dependable, it's counted on, So it's not that, oh, I'm going to get a job. Okay, I manned up, I got a job. I call in every Sunday, or, I don't feel like going to work today, I'm not going to work today. That's not manning up.
Mm-hmm.
You made a decision to get a job. Okay, there's one step. Manning up is a constant growing process. It's step after step after step, struggle after struggle after struggle. It ain't easy.
Mm.
It ain't easy to man up. It's easy to talk shit.
It's easy to quit.
It's easy to quit. But it is not easy to man up. It takes a lot to keep that going.
Well, you got to understand that being a man is about sacrifice. It's about personal sacrifice. It's about selflessness, and we talk about that here in the show all the time. It's about being selfless. It's like understanding that there are other things that are more important than you.
Yep.
Especially if you're going to have a family.
Yep.
And especially if you're a father, because you're setting the tone and the example for your children.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what could I say to my kids if I'm calling out of work every other week, or I'm not going to work, or I'm banging out, or I'm coming home, I'm sick all the time? I mean, what kind of an example is that for my kids? So if I look at my son or my daughter and say, your ass needs to go to work, they're going to look at me and go, why? You don't.
You don't.
Yep.
They can't say that to me.
No.
Right.
They can't say, Dad, you don't go to work. They can't say, Dad, you're not a good provider. They can't say, Dad, that you don't put us first. You can't say that Dad's not selfless.
Mm-hmm.
They can't say that.
Nope.
And in some areas, they hate it, and they love it in one hand and they hate it in the other, because they know the expectation by the example that's been set. The problem is we got a lot of men out there that are laying down. They're not standing up. They're not manning up. They're running their mouths, and they really need to just shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because how many times do you meet somebody that, talks about their father in a negative way and says, well, he talks one thing and does another?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That is so detrimental to any child, whether it's a male or a female.
Mm-hmm.
Double talk.
Yeah.
And that's why anybody I have come in contact with, I say, stick by what you say, do what you say you're going to do, don't make false promises, and be an example.
Actions are proof why words mean nothing.
Right, because they're going to look at what you do and not what you say.
Oh, yeah.
And, after a while, they're going to listen to what you say, and you're going to sound like Charlie Brown's teacher.
Wah, 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 wah,
And
wah,
it becomes
wah.
white noise, right?
Yeah.
They don't care what you, because you're not an example of what it is to be a real man.
And you know, one of the saddest parts is nowadays there's a lot more women out there manning up than there are men.
Well, that's because a lot of females have taken on masculine qualities.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons.
Yeah, and a lot of men have taken on feminine qualities because, and we
Right.
talk about on this podcast a lot, because 50+% of men
Being
are
raised by women. Yeah.
And so,
But
and
you
then-
would think.
and even the women, when they're raising their daughters, they're raising them to be more masculine than the boys.
Right, that's what blows my mind.
Because they want to be able to be self-sufficient and take care of themselves.
Right, but when you've got a single mom, which we love single moms to death, and we feel that a lot of the times it's the man's fault for not being there to help out. We're not poo-pooing on anybody.
But I will say before we go further, I mean, that was the old school thing. The new school thing with some of these younger women that are coming up, a lot of that's on them because they don't want to give up shit. They want to be in full control. They want to be able to,
That's
to
a whole-
do what they want.
yeah.
It's a whole nother ballgame. But
Yeah.
our generation, the Gen X's,
Yeah.
we a lot of dudes screwed that up.
But what I was getting at was a lot of these single moms will be raising a boy and a girl. And the boy will come out soft and very feminine, and the girl will come out
Yeah.
strong and very masculine, being raised by the same woman. And it's like you should be raising them both. In that case, if that's what you're worried about, you should be raising the boy to be the man that he should be, and the girl to be the woman that she should be.
But she can't, Ray, because she doesn't know what it is to be a man.
You're right. You're right.
She can only teach a girl what to do.
You think about a girl, it's about survival. For a woman's teaching her daughter survival mode. How do you survive in a world without a man?
Yeah.
Which is what she's been doing.
And that's why they end up coming at,
And then you're trying to teach a young man. You can't teach a woman can't teach a man to be a man.
Yeah.
That only comes from men, and that's the world we live in.
And that's where we fight. That's where we fail. We
or
fail.
she's talking trash about her ex-husband, and it's causing the man to think about it causing the boy to be be emasculated that way too, because he's hearing nothing but bad things about his dad.
And it's in all fairness, sometimes maybe it's justifiable, but you should never dog out your kid's father in front of the kid.
Exactly.
I mean, people need to be more mature than that, but that happens. And I remember coming up, and my parents were divorced, and my mother would say stuff about my dad.
Yeah.
And it's just it's not a good thing,
No, it's not.
But at the end of the day, it's we gotta make a conscious decision as men to understand what our role is in society,
To man up.
and what the expectation is, and don't talk shit, just do it.
Yeah.
Talk is cheap, man. Come on.
And we're not talking about benching 500 pounds, working on cars, doing crap like that. We're talking about the real stuff. Going to work. Doing what you say you're going to do.
Doing the hard shit, having a conversation with your teenage daughter, or
Right.
talking to your son, or
Providing for
you
your
know,
family.
and being straight. I mean, a lot of people may not like the way that I put that conversation to my son. I really don't give a shit what other people
Don't
think.
matter.
Yeah.
It's your son, not
Because
theirs.
my son needs to hear like a man, like, look, dude, you're not being raised to be a pussy. You're
Right.
raised to be a man.
Exactly.
And some people, how could you say that to your son and tell him he's being a pussy? Well, you know what? That's because if you're not going to work and you're not taking serious what you're doing, you are being a pussy, because you're depending on other people to take care of you. And that's what pussies do, not men.
Right.
And you'll be the first one they let go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you lose your job.
Don't be
because of
that guy.
Exactly. Don't be the guy they can't depend on. So
Don't be that
Let's get
friggin'
rid of
guy.
him.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy.
It's time to make cuts. Who we cutting? Oh, the guy who doesn't show up? Yeah, let's cut him.
So, we could go on and
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
all night,
And we will.
guys, about this, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to something that's really simple. Don't talk shit. Just do it. If you listen to this podcast right now, the world doesn't need talkers, it needs doers. We got so many men that are out there just talking and not doing shit. And we got young men that are watching this, and they're like hearing it like Charlie Brown's teacher in the background. Wah, 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 wah. You say this and you do that. You say this and you don't do that. And you talk about this and you don't do that. You're all talk, you no action. You know what, guys? There are people that are watching us. There are young men that are watching us, and they're waiting to see what are you going to do? How are you going to step up? Are you going to step up? And when you do step up, what does that look like? You want young men to know what it is to be a man? Try being one yourself. Because that, my friends, that's where the rubber meets the road.